Okay, so April is clearly Lantern Month. Wow, what a great discovery. If you guys know me, I'm not big into the lanterns, and honestly, this month seems kind of blah. Let's hop into it.
There is a difference between you and me. We both looked into the abyss. But when it looked back at us, you blinked.
Hi guys, I'm Gravy here, and this is a DC Legends video. In this video, I'm gonna go through my April preview. I'm late. I'm a bit late because of like the March review, and then I had a bunch of deep, like in-depth guides and all this other stuff. I'm late. I apologize. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into April with you guys right now. It's looking kind of blah to me, if I'm being honest, but that's partially because, okay, so like last month was my birthday and it was a Batman month. Batman's my favorite superhero. It's like they made that month for me because it's also an awesome month with awesome tunes. Now we're here with the lanterns and I'm like, I mean, okay, I read Blackest Night. I do like that. Maybe I'm just a bit prejudiced towards the Lantern. I do like Kyle Rayner. I do like Jon Stewart as a Lantern himself. That's because I have a lot of military family. But like, I don't know. I can't get into their universe. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just not reading the right one. Suggest comics to me. Suggest some Lantern comics that will make me think the Lanterns are cool. Just go ahead and put it down below. All right. Anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and get to the kits. Now let's just be real. It's already April, what, 4th? So I've already gotten Abin. I used him in my free-to-play account. That's going to come up on my free-to-play week 6, how I've been using him and how he's actually been helping me out a lot. But that's just because I just need stronger tunes that are at higher levels. I haven't really had a chance to use him in my main account, so just a heads up there. And then Ultraviolet Jon Stewart. Somebody on Reddit said this, and it's 100% true. He looks like a Transformer. He looks like Starscream. That's what he looks like in this thing that he has on. I don't know, man. Yeah. As you can probably see my excitement, right? All right, so let's just go ahead and get into their kits. But yeah, I do have a Bimsor. I have briefly gone over their kits. I also went through Alan Scott and Parallax's kits a little bit, but I haven't gone in depth really. And I have been trying to and I have been trying to use Alan Scott a little bit. I'll have an in-depth guide coming out on him on Monday. So I would do it this week, but I've been delaying the Man-Bat in-depth guide. That's going to come out on Friday. And then my free-to-play account, week 6, is going to come out Wednesday. So you guys just go ahead, hit subscribe. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And my review of Moon Knight is going to come out soon. So go ahead and hit subscribe. Now, going into a Bensur, and I'm going to read their little bios here too because I'm not familiar with them. I know Abin was like the first, well, not first, but the Lantern before Hal Jordan. But anyway, Abin is an exemplary member of the Green Lantern Corps who served as protector of Sector 2814 from the mid-1800s until the choosing of Hal Jordan. I love how they choosing because as I understood it, Buddy died, right? And so then when you die, the ring goes and finds a suitable replacement. And they just kind of sugarcoat that, like, oh, until the ring chose someone else. So, like, it wasn't like he and the ring were like, he's a terrible roommate. He left the socks on the floor and he left the toilet seat up. And now the ring was like, I just can't take this anymore. I'm going to choose somebody else. It was he died, right? Or am I missing something? Anyway, superpowers. Ground rules. Special damage to all enemies. Special damage is what helped in the free-to-play account. He's special damage. I can run him under Lex. Just a heads up. Special damage to all enemies and 75% chance to stun primary target, which I do love. Also 75% chance on the legendary point. Also 75% chance to apply 3 evasion downs. Can't miss on all targets. That can't miss in there is actually pretty much a big deal. And now I've said this before, now that I have my free-to-play account, I'm looking at the kits a bit differently and not just from an in-game perspective, as in like what you should invest in now so that you'll be okay in the in-game, but also what's going to help you get to the in-game. And that can't miss, especially when you're dealing with Eclipso now, more so than Harley Quinn, when you have Cassandra Cains and Doves and stuff like that pop up, your Talias. Can't miss is going to be helpful for you. Well, can't miss is going to be helpful on all of them except for Eclipso, which I mean it helps, but it's a negative affinity matchup for for a Ben Seward, so therefore it's not going to be as helpful as it was with all those other physical evasion up tunes that I named. Pack tactics. Apply invisibility 2 turns on all allies. Place taunt on the primary target. Legendary. Call assist from primary target. Also gain crit immunity and debuff immunity. The first person I thought of with this one is Parasite. Parasite is actually really tanky, really beefy, but he doesn't have his own taunt. So if I can put a taunt on Parasite where he's like able to absorb and steal buff, stuff like that, and he's beefy, he actually regenerates health at an incredible rate. So like that's the first one I thought of. But other than that, this ability seems a bit haphazardly built, where you're placing taunt on someone else, and so you want to run him with a beefy taunter or someone with death immunity, which would then actually lend him to working well with Alan Scott potentially. Now that I think about it, Alan Scott does give himself death immunity on his A2, and I mean, he's not squishy, he's not tanky, but if he has a death immunity and a taunt and he gets hit and he retaliates, he's strong, he hits hard, so that might be a good matchup for him as well. All right, so in any case, but that ability, I'm not too thrilled about it because, well, no, it makes sense if the primary target does get the taunt. However, until you have that ability up, like as I've looked at the kit, and that's probably the benefit of me like looking at the kits now. This is telling you what the kit is at the end, not what the kit is at the beginning. And in the beginning, there's a chance that you don't place a taunt or get invisibility. It's only when you ring that ability out that you end up with the taunt and the invisibility as a definitive. Otherwise, it's a A2 that does nothing. It does not give you invisibility and it does not give you taunt. Like, in fact, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna just double check, because I think this is probably gonna be the first time ever that I can think of where they give you an ability that literally, not even because of a bug, but it doesn't do anything unless you ring it up. Well, if you ring it up, but it's all like, okay, so either you have a 50% chance of getting invisibility and taunt or doing nothing. Let me double check just to make sure I'm not sounding like a moron here. So I have a Ben Seward on my account, going up, pack tactics. So yeah, 50% chance to apply invisibility on all allies and place taunt on primary target. So, and that has no rings in it. So it's legit 50% chance that when I use that ability, if I do not have it ringed out, he just won't do anything. You'll just see some like fancy stars and then that's it. And I know that because I was playing with him on my free-to-play account and I kept using the A2 and I was like, is this bugged? And it's not. Like, I mean, people may think that it's a bug, but if it's a 50% chance to do invisibility and taunt, that means a 50-50 chance of it doing nothing. So there's literally like an ability in his kit that does nothing. So it's just, that's just nuts to me. That's absolutely nuts that there's like an ability that's just like, yeah, nah, bro, I'm on lunch break. Like, what the hell is that? Okay. Indomitable Spirit, or Will. Heavy special damage. I was actually giving a throwback to a Family Guy joke, Tuesdays with Maury, Richard Simmons, flashback, but his indomitable spirit. So it was sweating to the oldies, but instead it was sweating to Tuesdays with Maury, and that was one of the Family Guy flashbacks. How does my brain work? Anyway, Indomitable Will. That really kind of creeped me out. Heavy special damage to a single target. Legendary. If an enemy is killed by Indomitable Will, gain 3 permanent int ups, which would lend itself to make that work or to make that devastating. I would put Donna Troy so that ability comes around more often. And then you could run him in like Nightmare Campaign and hope that you get Indomitable Will to like proc a few times or get it to be used a few times and stack up some of the gain permanent int ups so that you can like really crack skulls towards the end. But it seems like it'd be a lot of work to get that going. But it does hit well on a free-to-play account where all my tunes are low level. That does hit hard. I have him level 70, but with no gears, no rings or anything in him on my main account. And so I don't know how that ability performs. But this is supposed to be a preview anyway. I'll do an in-depth guide on him later on in the month. From Beyond the Grave, if an ally is taunting, apply debuff immunity to them for 1 turn at the end, or for to them 1 turn at the end of their turn. if legendary point, if an ally who is taunting is killed, apply 2 turns taunt on a random ally. I don't like that. I don't like that. So like if I have a taunter, right? So let me give a scenario. I've set up Barda to be my taunter. The reason Barda is my taunter is because I have somebody squishy hiding behind her who's a damage dealer. Let's say Larfleeze. So now if I have Larfleeze in that Nightmare campaign scenario where I'm trying to keep the taunt on Barda, now Barda falls and now he's gonna put the taunt on Larfleeze, potentially. No, I don't like that at all. That's literally not even like a legendary ability that's like I will never take that. That'll be the reason why, even if I took him RB1, I would never put the legendary, I would just leave the legendary point open forever. I would never put the legendary point on that ability. That's last. I don't care what the other legendary abilities say. And if I do take him RB1, which I won't, if I do take him RB1, if I were to take him RB1, I would literally leave the A4P1 off. Never give him legendary crystal. Protector of Sector 2814. I really can't believe that's such a. If an ally is taunting, apply 65% true heal at the end of the turn. That seems cool. I do like that. Legendary at the start of the turn. Gain 2 in-ups for each invisible ally. I do like that as well. So I'm assuming it's at the start of his turn, or it's either at the start of. Or maybe it's at the start of the taunting ally's turn. That part's not clear. I'm gonna have to like play around with that. Either way, I do like that ability, and I do like the at the start of the turn, whichever turn it is, that you gain intelligence. I'm hoping that he's the one gaining intelligence ups for each invisible ally. However, reading through his kit so far, at least for my play style, I have his A3 hits relatively hard, and I like the legendary ability on that. His A2 calls assists on the primary target, and it does give a visibility and a taunt to a tune if you have a tune that you want to do that to. However, you have to ring that out, or else there's a chance that the A2 does nothing. I do like the stun and the can't miss on the A1. Can't miss once it's legendary. This dude might be at best C tier. I'm trying to give like the actual tier ratings now, and then I'll do a review at the end of the month, and I'm gonna go ahead and like level him up. But now I'm regretting taking him level 70 with no gears in him, because I'm like, this would have been a 2-not skip. Legit, like, no. His kit is garbage. There's some good in there, but the detracting parts of it are so bad that I might have him level 70 gear 0 because I don't want to put any more resources into him. But I'm going to probably do a guide for you guys just to see. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm being too harsh. But I mean, he has some moderate highs and some deep ass lows. Like, C tier at best. I mean, is there F tier? F tier. Like, he's already trash. He's already trash to me. And that's the sad part, because he has some, like, I see some good in there, but okay, let me move on. Let me get on to Ultraviolet. Let me check his stats real quick. He is tanky. So then technically, if I'm using the A2 and I'm putting the taunt on myself, which I have done on my free-to-play account, then I'm protecting my team and I have a tanky taunt. I've created a tanky taunter. However, the taunt is something I have to put on myself, not something that he starts with. It's not turn 0. And if I'm early in the game or I don't have that ability ringed out, then it's a very legitimate chance that I don't get taunt or invisibility and it just does nothing. So, nah. Intelligence doesn't even seem that high, but he does give himself permanent int ups, like 3 of them. Strength is relatively low, but doesn't matter because he's special damage. I'm not impressed. All right, Ultraviolet Jon Stewart. Jon Stewart was the first recruit of the Ultraviolet Lantern Corps, led by Sinestro. He wields the power of the invisible spectrum, a primordial force sourced in Umbrax, the living dark sun. All right. I understand all of those words individually, but I don't know what I just read. So I'm going to have to actually read up on the history of Ultraviolet Lantern Jon Stewart and why the hell he's with Sinestro now. Construct of Hate. Oh, wow. Did Jon Stewart go dark? Man. Construct of Hate. Special damage to an enemy. 30% chance to stun the target. Legendary, damage dealt, ignore shield. Okay. Basic. Primeval Empowerment. Gain 60% shield, 60% chance to apply Enrage to all enemies. Legendary, if at least one enemy gets enraged, gain 1 permanent and up. On the A2, that's nice. That automatically lends itself to PvE over PvP for me, because then throughout the different waves, you can kind of ramp them up and get the A2 used more often. Get your Donna Troys in there. Get your speed ups from like Grodd, or get your turn meter manipulation from like Wally West or Red Robin, so that you can get that A2 around a little bit more often. Sword of Unseen Light. High special damage. Ooh, high, not heavy, high. To all enemies. And 75% chance to stun them. All of them? I like that. Gain 1 permanent stamina up. Not bad. That's blood to me. But, I mean, 75% chance to stun everybody. That means at least 3 of them should be stunned, right? I like that one. All right, negative emotion conduit. When Jon or any ally gets hit, 50% chance to gain 2 awareness and 30% shield. Legendary, also gain 1 infinite, whatever. Yo. I mean, even at a 50% chance, that's decent. And all right, and then next. That automatically makes me want to run him with the Taunter. That automatically makes me want to run with like a, there might be a nightmare of me being a jerk thing, but like a Barda Terra, Ultraviolet Jon Stewart composition where Barda just keeps taking hits but not dying. And in the meantime, he's just stacking awareness to where if either of them do end up falling, it's kind of like that Spectre situation at the end of a wave and Nightmare campaign. I got 500 awareness now, so good luck hurting me. Although now, if he's mystical, I mean, Lady Shiva can punch under the awareness, but we all know she does not crack. All right, so Call of Umbrix. At the start of his turn, 75% chance to gain taunt for 2 turns. Oh, there's that taunt. And 50% chance to apply Enrage on a random enemy. Okay. Legendary, if an enemy attacks Jon Stewart while he's taunting, 30% chance to apply Doom on the attacker. I mean, not bad. So the first one, special damage to an enemy, 30% chance to stun the target. But Primeval Empowerment, gain 60% shield, 60% chance to apply Enrage to all enemies. But if at least one enemy gets enraged, permanent intelligence up. I mean, better than but still but. High special damage to all. That's the ability that I like. The A3 is one I really do like. When Jon Stewart and ally gets hit. I do like the P1 A4 a lot. And then Call of Umbrix. I mean, I could take it or leave it. So B tier, depending on his damage. Let's check the HP pool. Since he is a taunter, he's pretty tanky. Not the fastest in the world, but definitely not. Well, let's see. So that puts him at 110. So 117, but middling. He has high intelligence, or relatively high intelligence, well above average. So that means he can take special damage. Agility, slightly below what you would want it to be. You'd want it to be like 2600. So more than slightly below. But okay. So is he like a Jace Fox special damage taunter? All right. Okay. All right. I think if I may, B tier tops. I'm gonna say he's B tier tops. It really depends on how that sort of unseen light hits. Like, what does that really look like? That's kind of what that, and then how the negative emotion conduit, like those two things, depending on how they work within the rest of his kit, I'm giving it like a B. Let's just go ahead and say B. Let's be a little bit more positive. All right, Alan Scott, Keeper of the Secret Heart, Star Heart. Sorry. I've been running Alan Scott today. I did lose a lot of battles. I'm coming to find out that I'm having to use a lot of PvP energy when I'm like trying to make these in-depth guys lately, because I'm really trying to step out of like certain synergies that I've always been using and trying to use others. So he's good, but you are bringing him to break faces, and that is it. So Power Knuckle Strike, damage to an enemy 40% plus 40% damage per shielded ally. Nuts. 50% chance to gain debuff immunity. Legendary, if Alan Scott is shielded, the attack is critical. This automatically means run him with Saint Walker, run him with Green Lantern Hal Jordan, run him with, I'm trying to think of Brainiac. Anybody who gives shield, like especially Saint Walker himself, who like gives shield at the start of each ally's turn, like, bruh, he hits horde. All right, so then protection of the star. And this is one thing that bugs me. He's not a Green Lantern. He's a lantern, he's not a Green Lantern. He is the keeper of the Star Heart. So like Saint Walker has this ability where it's 25% or 20% increase strength, 20 for all allies, and then 25% if the ally's a Green Lantern. Alan Scott does not fit that criteria, right? But he's a lantern, like, so that drives me like up a wall. Like, just give him 25%. Although 25%. Anyway, protection of the Star Heart. Give 50% shield to self and 35% shield to each ally. And he's not selfish. He does, like, that shielding is pretty good. Also gain 3 empowered stamina ups, which does help him with his tanking. He's pretty damn tanky. Like, he could take a hit. Legendary, also gain death immunity. Like, he is pretty tanky for those that don't punch under shields, i.e. like Azrael or Spectre. He is like pretty tanky in terms of like going against tunes that don't punch under shield, because he's giving himself empowered stamina ups. He's giving himself a bunch of shield. So he's pretty decent at surviving. The weight of my will. Heavy damage to an enemy, apply 7 strength downs and 4 evasion downs. Legendary, gain 100% shield if Alan performs a critical hit. One thing I haven't really checked, and I'll check when I do the in-depth guide. I think it means when Alan performs a critical hit on the weight of my will, because if it performs a critical hit on any of his abilities, that's nuts. I need to double check that when I go back into the PvP. I want to make a note of that, but it is what it is. Star Heart's Blessing, 60% chance to apply 25% shield to all allies at the beginning of each enemy turn. I like that. Also, like, maybe I was like harsh with it just bringing damage. Like, the amount of shields that he brings does help your team survive a lot against tunes that can't punch under shield. Also, 60% chance to gain Mend for 3 turns. Legendary, also apply 2 affinity resistance ups. I think that's the one that I left off because I have him L4. Faithful Chastainment. First time I've ever seen that word before. 60% chance to apply 2 strength downs and hit chance downs for 1 turn. 2 enemies that hit shielded allies. I mean, not bad to have. Legendary, 50% chance to use basic on enemies that deal damage Alan Scott, which is awesome because that basic, power knuckle strike hits hard, and if he's shielded, it's critical. So he hits like a freaking truck, as you can see with his strength. He's pretty tanky, as you can see with like the 39,000, 40,000 HP pool. Then he's giving himself shield, so he looks like a beast. I'm gonna give him. He's a beast damage shield. I haven't found a role for him yet because it's single target. I would like AOE target shields, like heavy damage. So, for example, Wonder Woman Coda, Wonder Woman Champion of the Amazons, or Yara Flor, Wonder Woman, Future State Wonder Woman. They are AOE mystic damage dealers. So when I'm having to deal with like the larger situations of like multiple energy tunes, then I would rather drop them in and then have them AOE wipe them all out. Alan Scott is very single target. He does give a lot of shields, and if you like running lanterns, he would be a lot of fun. I'm gonna give him A tier based on the damage that I've seen so far. He does need to be relatively protected, but he is pretty tanky. He can take a hit. So I'm gonna go ahead and say A tier for Alan Scott. Parallax is the one that I'm working on right now. Parallax is a demonic parasite entity that takes Kyle Rayner, a Green Lantern, as a host. By using fear, it is capable of bringing entire civilizations to extinction. Impurity attack, damage to an enemy and gain 5 stamina ups. On the A1, ouch. Strike twice if the target is enraged. So we can go ahead and run him with Ultraviolet Jon Stewart, right? Or run him with Harley Quinn. Run him with Atrocitus. So strike twice, giving him 10 stamina ups, which makes him hard to kill. Solid Fear Construct. Damage to an enemy. Purge 4 buffs and apply 20% turn meter down on target. Purge also procs on miss. So you're always purging the 4 buffs, even if it misses. 20% turn meter down, doesn't, I guess. Legendary, apply Enrage if Parallax has 4 or more stamina ups, which so far, that means A1, then A2 in terms of order of attack. I mean, I guess Enrage unlocks his kit. But, okay, fine. I'm not much for the Enrage, as you guys can tell by my facial expressions. Your fear is my strength. Heavy damage to all enemies and apply 2 strength downs to all enemies. Apply 100% additional damage if an enemy is enraged. That's cool. Legendary, 50% chance to use call assist on the primary target. I like that. Okay, I like that. Fear induction. Each time Parallax takes damage, gain 4 stamina ups every time? And apply Enrage to the attacker every time. That's probably one of those things that has to be ringed out. It's not 100%, but damn, yo. Legendary. Also, if Parallax is enraged, apply 1 empowered stamina up on all allies at the end of his turn. Atrocitus. Gotta run him with Atrocitus. Yo. Like, that's... I mean... You'd have to get him his turns to come around quicker. But I do like that a lot. I like that a lot. I wish it was like 2 empowered stamina ups, because this is a very Barda-looking thing, but I am a fan of tanky taunters who make my team harder to kill, and that's what that does. Parallax Empowerment. At the end of each Parallax turn, gain taunt, debuff immunity if Parallax has 4 or more stamina ups. Legendary. Start the battle with taunt and death immunity. So then I start the battle, hit him with the A1 first, then go A3, A2. If I'm looking at Parallax right now, I was kind of impressed by a certain... I'm going to lean towards... I want to say A tier, but I'm going to say B tier. I'm going to say B tier. So then that means B tier for Parallax. A tier for Alan Scott. Ultraviolet Jon Stewart. C tier. It really depends on the A3 and the P1, A4. But C tier, B tier, reserving judgment on how those affect. And then a Ben Sore, I'm going to go ahead and borrow a line from Loot Trash. Back the truck up. Shout out, Loot. Though we've never met. I am a fan. So, yeah, that's my evaluations of them. Now to go through this very quickly, then I'll call it a video. PvP. Oh, yes. Board clear for the month is Arcus. Now, don't tell Dr. Zabaro I said this. I am so happy Arcus is going to be the board clear for my free-to-play account. I want to farm those frags and get him up as much as I possibly can because he's about to be my green damage dealer. Then for the events, Alan Scott, definitely want those frags. Yara Floor, as I mentioned before, great AoE damage dealer. Parallax, I'm going to have a video coming out for him. I should have him, I think I'm level 70 and I'm like gear 10 right now. So I should have him 70-11 by the time that week comes around. And then I'll go ahead and do an in-depth guide on that. And then my part 2 in-depth guide on Talon will come out on that week as well. So on the week of Yara Floor, there will be an in-depth guide that will be released on her again because I did one. And I think this will be my second one I'm going to reevaluate. Parallax is going to have an in-depth guide that comes out the week of April 18th. And then Talon will have part 2 of his in-depth guide coming out the week of the 25th. Star Sapphire has an event. Showdown. I need that for my free-to-play account. She is one of the best healers in the game. If you don't know, you better ask somebody. Go after her frags. I'm going after her frags hard. Medfield Green Lantern of Sector 1287. I have enough frags of him on my main account to take him God, and I think maybe L5. I have no idea. In fact, let me go ahead and check real quick. Because what I might do is, I don't know if I'm going to really be able to get a lot in terms of board clear for Medfield, so I'm not really like counting on that. But let me see. Because I think I have Medfield 60-10. Yeah, I have him 64 gear 9.5. And I have enough frags to take him L4. If I get like 60 more, I could take him L5. I might take a look at him on my main account just so I can evaluate him for my free-to-play account. So you may get a in-depth guide on Medfield. That depends on the resources. Because right now, Parallax is, as the parasite, sucking away all my energy resources. So there's not going to be much room for Medfield to be worked on in the next week or two. But I do have gems coming in from the raid. So we'll see how that goes. And then Alan Scott, I already have 70-11, so I don't have to worry about him. Ben Soar, I took him level 70. I am legit considering not working on him at all. It's been a little while since I've done that with the new tunes, but he just seems like trash. Unless I just dump it all into him and just ring him out and level him up completely, then he might be decent. Like, might be decent at that point. So he's not going to be, I don't know. We'll see. I might not do it in a depth guide on the Ben Soar. Then we go to the Hero Blitz and Mystical Blitz. Yeah, that Hero Blitz was hard, man. That Hero Blitz was a tough one. I got 2,000 gems on both my free-to-play account and on my main account. Yo, I was experimenting. I was trying different stuff, but I was stupid. That was very dumb. For the Ultraviolet Jon Stewart, I'm going to go for him. Not like I did with Talon, because I already don't think his kit's that great, and Talon was amazing. But I have Alan Scott. Parallax I'll have soon. Booster Gold. I do want to use him more because I'm about to use him on my free-to-play account more. He's farmable in Red Alerts. That's what I'm trying to focus on a little bit more. Solomon Grundy I already have. World's Greatest Detective. I'm not so sure. He has a leadership ability that's kind of meh at best. So I'll be using him. I definitely have him 70-11, but we'll see. And then Superboy John Kent. I'm actually starting to like him a lot. He's actually doing some good work on my free-to-play account, so we'll see how that goes. But, yep, I have those tunes to use in the Siege. Ben Soar, Book. Talia, and they're starting to do 2 6-day events. Absolutely love this. Give us the opportunity to go after both rework tunes in the following month. I absolutely love that because I will go after Talia. I think I have her L4 on my, not L4, R4 on my free-to-play account. So I'm definitely going after those frags and then try to take her L1. Hush as well. I think he'd be really well served in PvE content, which in my free-to-play account I'm still going through. It might be that I'm overestimating and might need more legendary points out of him, but that's fine because I've come to the conclusion of just going level 50, gear 9, and I could take him L3. Well, probably not based on the number of frags I get, but you know my point. You see what I'm saying? All right, so, and then Team Challenge Anger Management, Guy Gardner, the crazy one. I don't know if I should invest anything in Guy Gardner. We'll see. I'm going to have to examine this kid a little bit more. I do have him here. So let me check him out real quick. Guy Gardner, I do have level 50. I have like, he's L1. I have him like gear 3. And I have like 642 of his frags. More of his frags. I don't know how far that's going to take me, like maybe to L4. No, 1, 3, 10, 240. Yeah, that'll take me to L4. So we'll think about it. All right. And then these are the eligible tunes for the, this stuff I have to start paying attention to now because I actually screwed myself on the free-to-play account. Who do I have? Nobody here. I mean, I have frags from Lex Luthor, but I'm not really working on them right now. Green Lantern Hal Jordan, I could do something with. Sinestro Yellow, nope. Star Sapphire, hopefully after one of the events I'll have some of her frags. I can't do jack squat in the team challenge with Guy Gardner because I have like 3 tunes on my free-to-play account. So that might just be one I have to miss on my free-to-play. Ouch. And then the villain returns. I've already done the raids and everything. I fell asleep and did not pay attention to raids enough. And sorry to my alliance as well. I don't even know if I reached my like quota for alliance boss attacks. I apologize. But also, I was like 150,000 shy of the rebirth crystals that I need because I literally fell asleep and then didn't wake over until like reset. So, ugh. I would have liked this suit, but let's be real. I don't use the Joker, so I would have never seen the skin anyway. It doesn't matter. And then, yeah, so I got that skin. I had to, although the face doesn't look like Robert Pattinson, it looks more like Ben Affleck, but whatevs. I had to get that skin. I do like the skin. What can I say? I don't even use Batman that much, but insane Batman fan, this dude, so I had to. So yeah, that is actually all of it. Old Squid's Return, Hawkman, Black Lantern, don't care, Starfire, Outlaws. Oh yeah, I got that one. That skin sucks. Don't worry about it. Don't even bother it. Don't even bother with it. So, thank you guys for watching. I drop these latest videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So please like, please subscribe. If you don't like it, hit subscribe and hit dislike. I'm okay with that as well. Please buy me a coffee. Help support the channel. Thank you guys for watching all the way through, and I'll see you next time.